So my brother Christian and I obviously grew up together. We're only 11 months apart, and we did a lot of outdoor activity. We hike a lot, we skied a lot. Eventually he got into snowboarding. Christian started snowboarding around 15 or 16, right when it became popular, and he had the old school board and all of the really old equipment that's now pretty obsolete and almost vintage. He picked up a local sponsorship and rode for them for quite a while and had won several competitions. He picked up another sponsorship in Oregon and rode for them for quite a while, and then became sick. And once he became sick with kidney failure, his snowboarding career kind of took a turn, and he lost his sponsorship, stopped competing. So Christian was healthy and really active until he was 23 years old. And we were at my sister's wedding in Hawaii when he came down with a really bad sickness the morning after her wedding. So we took him to the hospital, and it took him quite a while to figure out that his kidneys were failing. So Christian did really well adapting initially to his kidney failure diagnosis, and initially was not on dialysis, so it worked out really well for him. He could still continue his activities of snowboarding and working full-time. And then once he started to need dialysis, it kind of took a little bit of a turn for the worse, because he was there 3 days a week, 4 hours a day, 5 a.m. He didn't have a car, so he'd have to take a taxi to dialysis, and it really started to wear on him. And what people need to understand is he was only 23. And I think for a young, healthy, professional athlete to be thrown into that is incredibly intense. He still saw himself as this really young, very active, healthy athlete, and the part that he didn't really want to understand was that he wasn't healthy anymore. And so I think it might have been a little bit easier for him to digest if he'd known exactly what happened, or if it was something he did. We were all in a bit of denial about it, because he was always so healthy and active and vibrant, and he just did not seem like the same person at all. Really hard to be around him and not expect the old Christian. I think that took a toll on a lot of his friends who opted not to see him in the end because it was really difficult for them. The day that Christian died was obviously one of the worst days of my life. I received a phone call from my father, who had told me that my brother passed away, and I just didn't compute because it wasn't at all in my mind frame. I just did not expect him to pass away in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years. It just did not occur to me that that could actually be a side effect of his condition. I really didn't think that was going to happen. My hopes are that people become educated about organ donation and tissue donation. I just want people to be educated about it so that they can make an informed decision whether or not they want to be a donor.